Hello. Welcome to Matters of DeCorum. I'm Scott Corum. This is what matters to me. Quick note, my mom occasionally watches these videos. Hi, Mom. I moved the damn blue box. It's not there anymore. I might put it back because it's here right next to me. I don't have any other place to put it, but I've moved it. Just for you. Found the church cookbook in it though, so I'm going to be probably doing some stuff from here. So thank you again for helping me create this, but I moved the blocks. Move the box. There. There was some pressure from that particular quarter to move the box. I don't know why, but a lot of things to obsess over. Tried to get my son to come in and tell me that I needed to move the box as well so that they could gang up on me. Terrible tactic to use with me, but I moved the box. There is a tendency towards, when you're running a game, when you're writing games, when you're coming up with the next big bad thing that people have to face, from time to time, there is a certain amount of edgelordiness in the process where you have so much of a dark, grim, gritty edge that what you have is so universally vile and offensive that it appeals to everyone because everyone can revile it. And an edgelord is defined by someone who takes that edge way too far and doesn't give any effects because that is what they do. And if you can't handle it, maybe you don't belong at their game. I've produced content like that. Although while I have produced content that has gone to those lengths and further, I produced that content with a warning that it's not for everyone at the table. You might come across people who will actually suffer a certain amount of stress as a result of you doing this, who might have some emotional difficulties with what you are presenting. And if you do have people like that at your table, you need to not present it. As a dungeon master, as a game master, as a game designer, you have to produce material that applies emotional stress at the table. You want to get an emotional reaction because that's what people are there for. They're there for the brain chemicals. And having that emotional reaction, having people able to take action against the agents that give them that emotional reaction is releasing and fulfilling, and one of the things that makes gaming what it is. But you rarely have to go as far as you think you might have to go. I have found over a long career of doing this that it's not the big thing. You can have a big thing here and there. You can present great evil. Great evil is a wonderful opposition, but it's the little evils that really makes people's blood boil. You can have an evil baron forcing their poor population into the sewers to succeed or fail at cleaning them out. All of them are just going to be killed at the end of the process anyway, because that's how evil they are, and endanger thousands of individuals within there who are helpless and incapable of doing anything against the system unless the player characters step up. That's a big evil. That's got to get dealt with, and that does present a lot that people want in that role-playing game. That gives them that thing to focus on that they can take down and deal with the problem. You can often get more of a response from your players and their characters with a single starving child. One lone, starving child wandering in the street crying, not knowing where they're at or where any of their people are. You throw that in a game, you'll watch your players. And that will give you that's an adventure right there. It's not huge or grand or earth shaking to everyone. It is world changing for that child. And the more tragic you make that child's story, the more involved your people are going to get, the more they are going to put themselves out, burn resources, put their lives on the line to make that story turn into a happier one, to give that child something, because you just keep taking things away from this poor random kid that is just a figment of your imagination. Their parents just died, and sent them out into the street to be safe from whatever was killing them. The they have no family left. There's no place for them to go. They have a terrible disease. They're not going to last that much longer. Their tiny, sad little life is going to end, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. How far do the player characters go for that child? It is easy to craft your Age of Evil large and black and put skulls on them with spikes that are dripping the blood of the innocent just constantly. They ain't even gotta poke any innocent people anymore. They've poked so many innocent people, the blood just pours off the spikes no matter what you do. And you wouldn't want to clean it because that's your badge as an officer of the army of evil. And they can be rampaging across the land, burning everything in their path. And the player characters gotta step up and stop that. And the player characters absolutely will. There will be they can be in a fantasy game that has nothing but rocks and sticks to throw at these people, and your player characters will find a way to have the shotgun that goes out and deals with the bad guys. And that's fine. That's that's a that's an acceptable trope, and you can start writing the most depraved, horrific scenes for them to come across. You can reach deep into the bag of the worst things that have ever been done to people and pile them all. It's 5-minute internet search anymore. You can find most of these things on YouTube, as a matter of fact, and people having long conversations about exactly what horrific tortures and deaths were inflicted upon people across time. And you can lump all of that into a blender and come up with one big smoothie of absolutely terrible, dump it out all over the table and watch what your players do. And that's also fine. It might be a little bit much. That might be the point at where you start to lose players' interest because it's all just so vile. Can your evil be too vile? Yeah, it absolutely can, depending on your players. And you're going to run across something that someone's really going to react to. And the harder you go in that, the greater the chance you run into people that aren't going to enjoy that as much as you might think they would. But I would encourage you, while you are engaging in these campaigns of death and destruction across your land, to include a few little evils. Things inflicted on a single person or a single family. Someone who isn't necessarily breaking the law, but is doing terrible things under the cover of the law. And now you've got to find a way to either deal with them legally, which is very difficult because the law's on their side. Or are you going to break the law to see to it that the evil ends? Someone who's taking advantage of the financial systems or the banks or any of the other social constructs that makes performing evil to people so easy and so profitable if you have the resources to take advantage of it. you introduce a few of these little evils to the game, uh, either through their victims or the player characters may. Oh yeah, your car was towed. The you might not you might only have been 5 minutes, but well, we have a limit. Are you sure it was only 5 minutes? Because I don't think our tow truck driver would have taken your car if it was less than 5 minutes. There's a place. Here's a number that you can call. They're probably going to ask you for a fee to get your car out. Well, there's the impound fee and the towing fee, and there's probably going to be an additional fee for the services to get your car out. I'm sure that everything can get worked out over time. You'll be giving me $1,000, but well, you probably shouldn't have parked there. Watch your players when you throw that on the table because someone's been there or been next to someone who was there. And when you get that, the little evils are just more relatable. They're more real to people. They're more, you know, that starving child, you've seen them on TV. You've heard the news stories. You have read something, some tragedy at some point in time, or you've known someone who's been in or close to that position. And your player characters will raise armies and build fortresses and construct ships to defeat the evil empire, but they will stab God in the heart for that one poor child in the middle of the street. I have seen it happen. I'm watching it happen in a couple of games right now. It is amazing. You want to see your players really get their characters up and moving and lighting the world around them on fire. One starving child. One starving child, one widow foreclosed on. One man at the end of his rope who has done absolutely everything to try and succeed in his life and nothing has worked. Standing on the side of a bridge looking over the abyss, just about ready to commit himself to it. What do you do? The amount of empathy at your table will vary by group. And maybe not everyone will be into saving the starving child. Maybe not everyone will. If the guy is just determined to end it, why don't you just let him end it? Let him have his peace and we can move on and do stuff. But not everyone at your table is going to be that person, and then you're going to get some inter-party conflict. You're going to see conversations happening at your table that are just going to be fascinating because you're going to see those characters getting played. People digging deep in, looking, well, wait, what did I put down as my beliefs and my hooks and whatnot? And where's the psychological basis of this character? What's that alignment? And what does it mean here? And that's a good session. That's a good session. You know, if you have a really, really big evil, if you got the giant continent spanning empire, oh, everyone's on board for one reason or another. Should we go stop the army from razing that city to the ground? Yes, we should. Should we go feed that child or stop that guy from jumping off that bridge? Maybe. Some yes, some no. You're going to get a little bit more mileage out of the little evils. You're going to get a little bit more time and gameplay, a little more concern. They can blow up a huge fortress full of evil people doing evil things and be done with it. But that child who needs food and care and someone to take care of them, medical attention and maybe a miracle cure, Oh, that's 2 sessions. That's 2 sessions down the line, and someone in that group. I'm going to check in on Timmy. Is Timmy doing okay? And if you ever need a bigger rise out of the group, oh no, Timmy's not doing well, I'm afraid. And watch their eyes bug out and see them pick up their dice. That reflexive, oh no, what do I gotta do about this? Little evils are your friend as a game master. And I encourage you to stock up a folder of them, keep them handy, and when the big evils aren't doing the job, toss in a little one and watch everything change. Well, thank you for following me along on this particular little rant. As you can tell by how much coffee I've gone through, it took me a while to get to here, but I think I'm happier with this subject after all. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you did enjoy the video, give me a thumbs down. Feedback is feedback. If there's anything else you'd like to hear me talk about, other subjects you would like to hear me cover, leave me a comment below. I will love getting your comment. You'll love giving me one. If you are not yet subscribed to my channel, why not? My channel is awesome. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you do, hit the notification bell too, so you're alerted when my videos become available. If you would like to contribute to the channel in a more substantial manner, I invite you to hit me up my Patreon page, www.patreon.com/ScottCorum, and consider donating. Absolutely anything helps, allows me to make better videos more often. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I'm Scott Corum, this is what has mattered to me, and I will see you next time on the next Matters of DeCorum.